Hey guys, so we can go ahead and just start this video. So this is not a live chat because I decided to go ahead and do it in video. So I've been doing so many other things that I have not been able to do this video. So I'm just going to do it today. I am probably going to follow it up because I do need to show you a couple of things in my screenshot that I usually use on the side. But in your anesthesia class, you should have your step-by-step book. You should have your medical terminology book and your coding books. Now, remember I said I was going to make these private. We are now in the surgical section of the coding. So in the surgical section of the coding, you should have all of your books. You should have done medical terminology already, and you should have done medical insurance billing already. So with that being said, I want you guys to kind of get prepared for the anesthesia portion. Now, if you do have your CPC guide, you can also follow along with that. That's more in the advanced classes that we're going to do, but I still want you to also follow that as well. So, what I want to do today is just to kind of introduce the anesthesia portion. You're basically going to do the reading, and I want you to do the exercises at the end of each chapter in the step by step. So I'm on a different app that I'm usually on, so I can't really show you what I want to show you because you have the book, you can see it yourself. During the anesthesia session, it's very quick. You're going to be in your CPT guide and you're going to read the beginning of that. Those of you who already have your CPT book, if you don't, I want you to go ahead and use those links so you can get the coding books, the step-by-step books, and all the other books that you may need to use from there. I'm just going to pull up my Elsevier real quick. You don't need to see this because you guys should probably all have your book already. I'm just going to kind of go into Elsevier so I can get that step-by-step book. Now, if you guys don't have the step-by-step book, remember there are links there for you to get that book. Okay, I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to get those books because if you don't have one, you could always use it, as a temporary book. It's not going to be a full 100% book, but it is a book that you can use. It's finally done right. I can't believe it. It is a book that you can use until you actually get your own book. It will give you about, I don't know, maybe 35% of the material. But if you are starting my class new and you have not been here before, the book is good for you. Okay. I didn't used to like ebooks. Y'all know I used to hate ebooks, but I actually love ebooks now because I can kind of flip through. I can go see what I want to see very quickly. So I can see in my library that they've already uploaded 2026 books. I have the teacher's version of the Elsevier, so every year it's time for those books to get loaded up. They go ahead and put them in there. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the 2026 step by step. You still could use the 2025, even if you have the 2024. It's okay. It didn't change too much. No, I don't want that. You're pretty much going to still be looking at the same information. Let me just see if anything's changed. No, I mean, it's still the same. So we just finished evaluation and management. Okay, we just finished evaluation and management. I'm going to shrink this. You guys can't see this, but I'm just going to go ahead and shrink this down so I can kind of move this over. So we're going to kind of talk about like the types of anesthesia, anesthesia services. Okay, and this is in the step-by-step book. Okay. I'm not going to put these up because I'm going to put these up in another section. This is the book I was telling you about. You probably can't see it because it is not mirrored, but this is my medical insurance billing, medical terminology book. Now, remember, I told you, look how thick this book is. This book has tests in it. I know you can hardly see it, but I'm going to fix it where you can see it on that next segment. This is the book that I'm telling you about. Go to Amazon and get this book. Okay, go to Amazon and get it, or go to my website and get it from me, sapphirephysiciancoding.com. Okay, now in the anesthesia portion, I have my book out. Let me see what page we're on in here. I'm on 337. If you have the ebook, I'm on 337. So types of anesthesia, anesthesia section format, formula for anesthesia payment, concurrent modifiers. They're just letting you know that because you do have to know some billing at some point. That's why you're taking medical insurance billing and coding, only a little bit though. Unlisted anesthesia codes, other reporting, and the chapter review. Now, our objective is define the types of anesthesia. Okay, we're going to talk about the format, pretty much the same thing. We're going to see if we can understand the formulas of the anesthesia, identify other reporting sources, and demonstrate your ability to report anesthesia. Now, I actually think anesthesia is okay. I don't think there's a problem with anesthesia. This might be the quickest one that we're going to do in the surgical section. Now, the billing and the medical terminology are open, but these courses will be uploaded into the Sapphire Academy. This is going to be uploaded into the Sapphire Academy. I haven't decided whether I'm just going to do the surgical sections on YouTube. Probably by next week, I'll make that decision. The surgical sections, normally I just do them in the Sapphire Academy because I need more engagement in the surgical sections. These are the surgical sections right here, what we're starting right now, because this is what's in your CPT book. Okay, so you're generally going to start reading from, I'm on page 337, your anesthesia sections, okay? We're going to talk about monitored anesthesia care. When I say we, you are going to read that after this program is done, because this is not going to be something long. Anesthesia is pretty quick. I just want to kind of put you guys in the right place. It talks about moderate anesthesia, which is conscious anesthesia. So what you're going to do is you're going to do the reading tonight. There's also a section in there where you're also going to do a couple of exercises. And again, it's putting you in the right place. The YouTube classes can't be long classes, but we still can put you in the right place on the YouTube classes. Okay, so some of the other things that we need you to know is ASA, American Society of Anesthesiologists. Now, that's not something to me that sounds like it's going to be on a test, but what if they say, you know, what is ASA? You know, you need to know what it is, okay? So in the beginning of the book, like I'm on page 337, it just pretty much gives you a rundown of what anesthesia is, the management of procedures for rendering a patient insensible to pain and emotional stress during surgical procedures. Have anybody ever gone under a procedure where they have had to have anesthesia? Put it in the chat box. Send me a message. Let me know how it went. Let me know. Did you see the anesthesiologist? Was he the chief? What color did he have? Or did he have the navy blue on? So we've all had some type of anesthesia. And you know, you kind of experience a couple of different types of anesthesia, but in your CPT book and in your step-by-step book, you're going to get some of the indications of what type of anesthesia you may see on your test. Okay, so don't get that MAC mixed up with the Medicare. Okay, because there is a Medicare concept using the same MAC. Okay, so in the beginning, you're going to read about types of anesthesia. Okay, and let me see how many pages we have. Just have a few pages of that. But the main thing I want you to get, you guys can't see this, but the endotracheal, epidural, spinal, general, regional, and local. Okay, that's what I want you to get explicit. I'm not going to go word for word with it, but that's where I want you at. Okay. Tonight, I want you to use the index cards. Okay. Use the index cards, put endotracheal definition, epidural definition, spinal, general, and regional. Okay. I want local too. Local anesthesia can be accomplished by means of application of an anesthetic or an agent. Regional anesthesia interrupts the sensory nerve conductivity in a region of the body. Okay. You can read the rest of that. But again, you know, this is to put you in the right place. I know you guys heard of epidural. Anesthesia is the injection of an anesthetic agent into the epidural space between the vertebrae, also known as the peridural or the epidural block. Yeah, I know. I tell you, forbid them to give that to my daughter because I just, they gave her something else. They didn't give her that. But I thought it was just, no way. I did have it with my firstborn, but not my second one. Okay, so and here's an awesome picture of this. Like I said again, your second anesthesia class, I'm going to do it probably on OBS so I can show you a couple of these pictures. But there are some pictures here, and I want you to take heed to it. The trachea, the tongue, where they're going to put the device there to make sure that you can breathe. Okay. So in anesthesia, it's very hard. I mean, I would be scared to be an anesthesiologist. I mean, I see some, on their Instagram, and I mean, thank you. I mean, I would be so afraid to do anesthesia because I would be afraid that I would nowhere in the world do it correctly. But here we're not going to be training you to be, an anesthesiologist. Okay. We just need to make sure that you know that you can get them little 3 questions right. Okay. You might have 4. Okay. So again, just kind of take heed to it. And it also shows you some pictures in the book where the needle go, in the subcutaneous or, in the lower region, especially, in that back region. I don't play with that one. But again, just follow the instructions in your book. There are tests in here that I want you to do. They're pretty much exercises. And it's the beginning of your book. So the book that I'm giving you, the ebook that I gave you, it's enough. So if some of you are starting my class and you guys are just now getting in and you do not have a book, go ahead and use the ebooks on the class. Okay. This will be uploaded. Now, normally this is how the classes are in the Sapphire Academy. I don't even put them in the YouTube. But we're going to go ahead and continue to put them in the YouTube until I figure out how we can coordinate those classes because you guys need to go on to sapphirephysiciancoding.com. I want y'all to register for the class. It's $99. It's actually not a class. You guys are registering for the full program because that's where all your resources are. So when I'm not doing class or you guys notice Miss Lambert's missing and she hasn't been in a class, you can go to Sapphire Academy and anything that we go over, every single class is in the Sapphire Academy. So that's why I want you guys to go ahead and register for that. Okay, the classes that you get on YouTube is just additional. It's easy access for you. It's easy access for most people to do YouTube. But I have different platforms that let me do a lot of different things. This one is a little bit, plain. And this is one of the ones I used years ago. I used this one years ago, actually, when I first started doing the YouTube. Then as I got, savvier, I started using different things. Okay. So again, this is your anesthesia class. We're going to go ahead and move that thumbnail over from StreamYard and put it on here. Okay. But again, monitored anesthesia care, that's going to be on your exam, no doubt. Okay. MAC is provided by an anesthesia provider who constantly monitors the patient. I'm not going to read the whole thing. General anesthesia, make sure you put it on an index card. Okay. Why? Because I need to make sure that you are okay with those. If you see those on your test, I want you to be able to remember them. Okay, be able to retain them so you can get those open and closed questions correctly. You may not have one in a case, but if you do, I want you to make sure that you have studied all of the anesthesia codes, all of the anesthesia concepts, also in the CPT book. Okay, I'm going to drop up my CPT book right here, but you can't see it, but in the front of the book, your anesthesia starts with 0. Okay. I know I'm going kind of fast, but I've got another class after this. It's not YouTube, it's a regular class. The code description for the moderate conscious sedation. Code includes the term intra-service time. Make sure you get that down. Intra-service time begins with administration of the sedation agent. Okay. I'm on page 340. Make sure you go over that. So I'm just kind of giving you something to work with until we do the second class. Let's see. Here they give you the anesthesia section for me. Now you can't see it, but I'm on page 341, but I still want you to go over that. Okay, I want you to go over that. Remember, anesthesia is your first portion of the surgical section. Okay, some of these they will want you to know, and these are your acronyms, abbreviations: CRNA, Certified Registered Nurse Anesthesiologist. This one, yeah, it looks like something that's probably going to be on your test. Okay. And then there's an exercise down there. Let me see if they have any summaries down here. Now, if you guys are in the Sapphire Academy, yeah, you have to do a summary. I need to know if you're on point with it or not. Okay. Not means you're going to be doing it over. Okay. So no, there's nothing here, but I want you to make sure you understand the T. T is for time. Anesthesia services are provided based on time. Okay, based on time. Let me see what else is down here that we can kind of do. Well, they kind of give you a report here, but that's not going to be any good to you. You can't really, you can't really use that. Okay. Also qualifying circumstances. So in qualifying circumstances, it's going to take you probably a minute to get this, but the reason I need to make sure you're good with this is because they will have something like this on your test. You need to know what qualifying circumstances are. Okay, I'm on page 348. Now, when you get in there and you start doing your anesthesia and you need to drop those add-on codes, I would write them also down on an index card because they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 4 or 5 different codes. 1, 2, 3, 4 different codes. Okay. 991 for all anesthesia complicated by emergency conditions. 99135 anesthesia complicated by utilization of controlled hypertension. 99116 anesthesia complicated by utilization of total body hypothermia. 99100 anesthesia for a patient of extreme age younger than 1 years old and older than 70. So that's going to determine which one of those codes you're going to use. Okay, and you will see those add-on codes. They're add-on codes, you guys know, because the plus is in front of them. Okay, you see that in your anesthesia section. They're also there as well. Anesthesia for procedures on eye, lens, 00142. I'm just kind of sketching through. This, when you get to physical status modifiers, okay, I'm just kind of talking through. So when you guys archive this, I'm just talking through. You're still doing your work. When you get to physical status modifiers, make sure you put them on an index card. Okay, your book is going to be with you when you're taking your test. So it's not going to be like, you're not going to know, you're not going to find these things. You're going to have your CPT book with you. But in the anesthesia section, it's not a very big section. It's kind of small. You should be able to get through that tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to do a more formal class on the anesthesia because I need to put the books up there so you can see them and you can see a couple of things on them. To me, it's not really that necessary, but I still want you to be in the right place when you join your anesthesia. Now, if you guys are already in the Sapphire Academy, you can see what's next. You can see what we're going to do next. If you are not, I want you to go ahead and join the Sapphire Academy. Tonight, I'm going to be uploading video in there, which this one is also going to go in there. Everything is going to still be dropped on the YouTube. You will just be clicking on it. I'm not sure if it's a different protocol that I usually have with the other ones because that one drops off in 6 months and then I usually kind of upload a new one. But again, if you missed a class, you'll be able to archive anyone that you want. There's a playlist for the free classes. It's just playlist for the free classes. So I definitely want you guys to go in there for those free coding classes that's in there. Okay. I also want to let you guys know about the insurance team that I am building. Anybody wants to be an insurance agent and you think you can pass that insurance license, DM me, let me know. Maybe you want to do something on the side. We'll get you started. That's $39 plus 25 for your own website, your own this, your own that. You get into Primerica tools, okay? And that's who we would be working with, okay? There's pre-legal services, identity theft, life insurance, mortgage brokers. You guys buying a house, let me know. Okay, so you can see I've been doing a million things when you guys don't see me on the YouTube. But getting back to the coding and making sure that you guys are on the right track for the coding, I want you to take your test. Like I said, don't rush yourself with the coding. There are a lot of modules that I have in the Sapphire Academy. YouTube is just the classes. They're just the classes. Your resources is in the Sapphire Academy. In order for you to have the one-on-one with me, you must be registered for the Sapphire Academy. Okay. The Sapphire Academy also gets you prepared for your certification. That's what this is about, getting you prepared for your certification. Okay. The anesthesia class is pretty small, but we're going to do a broader range of anesthesia tomorrow. When you go on Sapphire Academy, there's an anesthesia course there already. Okay. Everything that you hear me talk about is in a doc. It's in a PDF doc already. You can download it from Sapphire Academy. You can look at it on your phone, or you can Google Drive it, however you want to. Once you go on sapphirecoding.com and then you go into the bookstore, course program will take you to the bookstore. There, you can purchase your program from there. You can pay your tuition there. Right now it's $99, so you can go ahead and pay that tuition there. When you finish with your courses, when you finish with the health information test, when you finish with all of your pre-tests, and you've gotten a 70 on each one, including the pre-tests that are in the CPC guide, anesthesia is going to be number one. You have to pass all of that before I say, okay, I think you're ready to take your exam. Okay. You have to be ready to take your exam. No, the exam is not free. You have to pay for the exam. You have to also be a member of AAPC. Okay. Taking the exam is not mandatory. You can be a medical insurance biller without that. You cannot be a coder without that. Okay. There are some hospitals that allow you to do charge entry, but you must have your certification in order for you to be coding. Okay. You must have your certification for you to be coded. Now, I've also decided to put a couple of classes on my Twitter. My Twitter is Black Phoenix. You guys can go there sometime. Yeah, I might put something on there for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can't do anything long on Twitter, but people have been asking me to drop stuff on Twitter because I do put these videos up on Twitter. But I need you guys to look at these videos, okay? I put the videos in order for you guys to look at them. This is a new year, and you guys had a long break off from the class. And what I've noticed in the class is that even when I do live, a lot of you are not coming on live. So I said, okay, I'm going to start doing the recording version. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I can still record on the OBS, and then I can still give you what you need. I had a Zoom today and I used this, so that's why I'm still on this screen. Okay, if you guys have any questions, let me know. You can DM me, like I said, or you can DB me. But I want you guys to go on sapphireacademy.com and go ahead and register for those resources. So, okay, so now let's just get back to anesthesia a little bit. So the physical status modifiers, okay, they're going to be P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and P6. Would you guys should have your book open, so you should be right where I'm at. If you have an ebook, I'm on 349, okay? If you have a regular book, go to this physical status modifiers, okay? So P1, a normal healthy patient. P2, a patient with mild systemic disease. P3, these are the modifiers. a patient with severe systemic disease. So as you're reading your case, if they give you a case and you got anesthesia in there, you know the severity. Again, you're going to have your book. If you see some of this in your case, you know which one you're going to choose. If it's an open and closed question, go back and look at them in your anesthesia portion and you know what you're going to choose. Okay. P5, a morbid, okay, morbid, a patient who is not expected to survive. See, that is the one I want you to be precarious of. You see that word moribund, you don't see it, but it would be usually morbidity. Okay, and they're changing words in here, but that is what it means. Okay. P6, a declared brain dead patient whose organs are being removed for donor purposes. Okay. Really, rarely you might have to code that, but you know, you still do have to code that. I mean, people pass away and they want their organs donated. You will see that. Okay. So here they just kind of give you the sum up of, you know, what's going on in the chapter. But I want you to read it. Tomorrow we'll go over it a little bit more in depth, but I wanted to go ahead and drop this video for you. Okay. Base procedure value, time units, modified physical status, total units. Yes, that's how you're going to code anesthesia. It's a little bit different than how we code regular cases. Okay. Conversation factor. Conversation factor is the dollar value of each unit. I know you're not familiar with what I'm talking about right now, but once you do your reading, you'll be more familiar with it. So I would definitely do the reading tonight. I'm going to try to, you know, on Sundays, I normally don't do class, but I'm going to try to fit something there where we can kind of get that visualist in there so you guys can kind of understand the anesthesia a little more. But all it takes is reading and understanding and clarity of what's in your CPT book, because what's in your step-by-step book, it is your training manual. Okay, you are going to be actually doing these cases. There are cases in your CPT guide that you can practice on. When you get your step-by-step book, get the workbook as well, so you can do the exercises in the workbook. Okay. So, you know, again, you know, we can't go through YouTube as if I was doing like a regular class, but in the regular classes, we're going to go through this step-by-step. So the start of the surgical section, those are the start of the surgical sections that are actually in the Sapphire Academy. Okay. So you guys, I want you to get in on the Sapphire Academy so you can actually get those docs in there that can help you. Okay. So, exercises 2, was there exercise 1 in the beginning? So they give you a 2. I want you to do those, do the current modifiers. Don't sleep on the Medicare rules. Okay. Make sure you read those CMS rules. Okay. They give you a couple additional modifiers. Here is what I want you to do, all the exercises that are in this chapter. So this chapter looks like a 3-day chapter. Using your CPT manual, only identify anesthesia codes. Okay, that's chapter review. Okay, theory 2. Any questions? 3. Okay, then it kind of gives you information about returning to the operating room. It's not that much, so I definitely want you to go ahead and do it. Just make sure that you get those anesthesia modifiers. The AA anesthesia services performed personally by an anesthesiologist. If you've got your Hicks-Picks book, okay, this is where you're going to see these modifiers at in your Hicks-Picks book. Okay, AD, G8, G9, monitored anesthesia care for a patient who has a history of severe cardiopulmonary disease. Okay, get your Hicks-Picks book and you will see these in there. Okay, QZ, this is going to be on your test. What modifier belongs to QZ? CRNA, service without medical direction by physician. When you get your Hicks-Picks book, this is going to be in there. Tomorrow we'll look at that. Yeah, no, I can't put it in stone because next thing you know, I have something to do and it bumps me right out of YouTube. Okay, but I want you to, I'm gonna drop that link. I don't know if it's in here or not, but I'm gonna drop that link for that Hicks-Picks book. In case you guys don't have it, because I haven't put the Hicks-Picks book out there. We haven't used it. But I want you to use it for this anesthesia portion because it's Hicks-Picks modifiers in there. Okay, so this was just a quick 20 minutes. I don't know how long we've been into this, but we're gonna come back tomorrow, hopefully, and I'm gonna go through it word for word, not word for word. Just sign up for Sapphire Academy so you can get more out of this class. Okay. But this is where I want you to start. Go ahead and start with your anesthesia, start with your reading in your step-by-step book. Okay, make sure you have your CPT book open. Okay, whenever you study and have your CPT book open and your ICD-10s and your HCPCS, especially with the step-by-step. We haven't bumped into HCPCS yet, but we are now. Okay, so I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to upload this and I see you guys tomorrow. Okay, start your anesthesia, start the reading. Anybody want to join the class? You guys go ahead on my website. You can actually DM me from there. Or you can send me an email. That's fine. If you want to, again, register for that class, go ahead on my website and go to the bookstore and go ahead and register for that. Okay, so I'm going to sign off now and I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.